right now, I'm just so excited to get started with our recipe. Like, my mouth is looking at all these ingredients and I'm just so excited. So I kind of introduced you to my mom, but she's actually, I pulled in the big guns because my mom is actually one of the best entertainers that I know, period. Like, all of the big holidays, all the special occasions, all the even not special occasions, she goes way over the top with all of them. So so there's different elements to what we're doing, and we're not actually going to do any cooking, but, well, just one little tiny thing we're going to cook.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some bread. So let's put these on a rack.
I did about half the loaf. That should be good, shouldn't it?
Yeah. And this is, I'm kind of just going back and forth. You can do things on the top or bottom. You kind of just have to think about what your preferences are, whether you like it really crispy on the outside or if you want it more slowly baked. So you can kind of play around and figure out what your own preferences are. And you know what we could even do with these super quick is just broil these, because we just want a little bit of browning. So I'm going to show you something that is a really beautiful little cracker type bread that you can add to your charcuterie board, and they're really gourmet and they like cost almost nothing. So this was just one of those par baked baguettes that I got from Walmart. They're like less than $2. So
I think this is the take and bake version.
it is, yeah.
And I like these because they don't get so over crispy or so hard that they're difficult to chew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the take and bake, but you don't bake them until you dress them.
So it keeps it really fresh too.
The other thing that these are so nice for, I use these a lot of times during the holidays, like with a really beautiful seafood bisque or something.
The take and bake loaves.
Yeah, you can kind of, just the little crostinis, you can kind of float them on the top of the bisque or whatever.
And it's so much, it just kind of adds something other than when it's fresh baked, it makes it kind of feel homemade. So we're just going to take these slices and add a little bit, we're going to drizzle them with olive oil, and we're going to do a little something else too. So the olive oil I have in this new olive oil dispenser. So this guy, hopefully you can see this. There's little lines up here, and you just squeeze this and it measures out a teaspoon or a tablespoon, which is so cool because sometimes you're always dirtying your spoons. You don't have to dirty a spoon. You just measure out your teaspoon or tablespoon, and then you just and then you can kind of paint on.
Yeah, we can just swirl it over them, and
you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll swirl and you can brush.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
So this guy is a silicone basting brush, and I love these, like if you ever have to paint on butter, because you can actually clean it. The top is silicone. It's
great for barbecue sauce too.
Yeah, anything like when you brush egg on pastries or barbecue sauce. Are any of you guys big into barbecue?
Yeah.
Zoe,
Yes?
you're kind of like my family. You probably love the barbecues in the summer, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
You got a big family like us. It's
Uh-huh.
a good reason to get together over a barbecue.
It's easy and the mess is outside.
Exactly, that's a big part. So
All right.
This is where it gets really fun. You can kind of feel like what your mood is, but I feel like a lot of times for the charcuterie boards, this is more like a French seasoning, and this is an herbes de Provence seasoning blend. It's just kind of, how would you describe it?
It's a little bit floral. It's a little bit savory. It's a little bit, it almost has a floral because of the lavender buds in it.
But bottom line is it's something that makes it look like you did something really fancy, and you didn't. You just have the blend that's a shortcut in a bottle, and you just sprinkle on a little to each of these. So these are called crostini when you take your little slices and toast them a little.
The other option you could do with these is you could just take a whole garlic clove and just rub it on there. Like if you want to do some with just garlic, to complement cheeses,
Oh,
and
yeah.
some with just herbs.
And then would you do that before you roast them, or would you do
I
like
think-
that fresh raw garlic?
because when it warms, it kind of develops.
So
the
you would
garlic.
do it before we
Mhm.
toast
Like
them.
we could do it
So we're
at this
gonna
point.
do these on the broil setting on top. Now this is what I learned using this new toaster oven. It cooks so fast. You literally have to the first few times you use it, you have to be keeping an eye. So we're gonna do a broil. So you just power it on and you hit the top. And we're going to dial to broil. And then I don't even think we're gonna need 3 minutes hardly. I'm gonna say 2 minutes. It's gonna want to preheat, but I'm just gonna bypass that because it's literally so fast. And then Mom, if you don't mind kind of just standing by, because it'll literally go so fast.
Okay.
That I kind of learned the lesson the hard way. So the first time I used this to bake cookies in, normally they take 12, 13 minutes. They were done in like 8. So if you're impatient about getting your cookies or baked good, it's a big helper too. So then moving on, what we're going to be working on is this featured product that just came out, and this is called our charcuterie board. So this guy, it's actually reversible, and I believe it's the acacia wood. It's just this gorgeous wood. And these are actually wells. I don't know how well you can see that, but you can use it this way or this way. So Mom, what do you think? Should we arrange it on the flat side, everything, or should we use our wells?
You know what? Why don't we? It's easy to use the wells. Let's do the top and maybe put one tray in the middle.
Okay.
And maybe kind of put it around
So it comes with the tray, ceramic tray too. So you can have a lot of fun. You can arrange it however you like. And we are going to just arrange this on the
Wow,
top.
this is bubbling already.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay, let's cancel it.
Well,
Oh,
is it? I don't know if they're toasty, but you can see the oil's bubbling.
Yeah, it's really close.
Close. Yeah, maybe 30 seconds yet.
That's what's on there.
Okay.
Yeah, you really, if you ever have something on broil, like you literally have to stand there. It's so crazy fast.
And also, you can smell the herbs toasting now.
That's
So,
a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, 12, 10, and this is, oh yeah, I do smell the herbs now.
Mhm.
So that's when you really get an idea of what's in this herbes de Provence. That's when you can smell it.
Oh, those are perfect. So that was 3 minutes.
2 only.
Oh,
So
okay.
you guys, that was literally 2 minutes. And then you have your pretty little, perfectly toasted crostinis now. So let's set this somewhere we have a safe surface here. Okay. And then Mom, if you don't mind holding down the big silver button until it powers off.
This one at the bottom.
Yep, you just hold it down until it says goodbye. It'll tell you goodbye.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay. So
Alright.
now we can really start to have some fun. Okay, so now my mom is like, she's so good. Like by the time we're done, this will look like something out of the White House or something. So keep in mind, I did title this Charcuterie Made Simple. So
That's where it's hard to cut me off. Is there a one of them that the well is one single well?
No,
these
it's
are
just- yep.
these are doubles, right?
So
okay.
here I have a couple thoughts about that too. If we did take the rest of our bread, say that you just warmed up some of your bread and it was just warm baguette. Have you guys seen where you do the oil, the dipping oil, like when you go to the restaurants, you do your dipping oil and Parmesan? So we have another shortcut available. There's garlic, Parmesan, dipping oil. It's all ready to go. So if we wanted to do that, we could just open this up, pour some into a well,
That would be really
and
nice,
serve it with the warm bread,
Yeah.
and that would be one like super shortcut.
Why
But
don't we do that?
today I think we're gonna go with our crostini that are seasoned already with olive oil. And
Why don't we start lining those down the side?
okay, and make sure so that you might want to make it
Yeah.
so they can see.
Oh
the,
yeah,
there you
that's
go.
a good idea.
Okay, so And then charcuterie, you want to keep in mind, like you were saying a few minutes earlier, the variety of textures. So for your cheeses, they pretty much all have cheeses. So your cheeses, meats, nuts, olives, fruit. So for your cheeses, keep in mind a hard cheese, a medium cheese, and then a soft cheese. And then that'll give you that variety. And that's what makes the charcuterie board so exciting, is all that variety. Like you can kind of it just gets your senses excited. So I do have a variety of cheeses. I don't know about you guys, but I love to get my big bulk gourmet cheeses at Costco. Do you guys all go to Costco or Sam's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then I've also heard people say Aldi's is absolutely fantastic for gourmet cheeses at a really good price. I haven't gone.
Aldi's. Yeah.
Do you go there, Margaret?
Yeah, Aldi's has wonderful selection of cheese.
Okay, and so that'd probably be more sane portion sizes if you don't need the 2 pounds of cheese.
Right, yeah, it's just the two of us, so yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then, we have a new friend joining us. And then I was gonna say too, it might sound crazy, but Walmart has been, actually they've been stocking a lot more gourmet things. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but that's where I got this. They sell this brie cheese now. They have goat cheese. They have several other. They have the fresh, the fresh mozzarella in a liquid. They have that at Walmart now. So yeah. So April, I see you're in here. Thanks for popping in. So we're just getting started assembling our charcuterie board. So far we've made little toast with olive oil and herbes de Provence seasoning. And then we're just getting ready to assemble some charcuterie. And I think I'm going to start letting you run away with it, Mother, because you're so good at arranging. So this is some brie. So do you feel like...
I think we should do a nice wedge of the brie.
I was going to ask, do you feel like we should do a wedge, or do you feel like we should actually slice the brie?
I think I would like to do a wedge with that.
Okay.
And if you don't mind, one of the things I like to do, and it really elevates...
Where she gets fancy.
where it really elevates a board, just like something, I use different things, but one of the things that is a nice setting for grapes is to cross the stems of two little... like brandy snifters or goblets.
Little wine
and then
glasses.
if you've got some grapes, we'll drape those. And then...
So I just got some red fresh grapes.
Yeah.
And if you need to cut the stems, here's a little, these are the spring-loaded kitchen shears. They're great for cutting through little stems.
But it's always fun just to... It's like the creative juices start flowing for me when I start seeing these.
She really is like an artist. Like, she's done makeup artistry in the past, and she's a really good painter too.
I think it runs. I think they all blend together. But anyway,
but you don't have to be like creatively. You don't have to be an expert. It's the ingredients are what it's going to make this so gorgeous.
So that's how I would start.
So
like
you're
that.
starting with the fruit.
Yeah, and then if I'm doing a bigger charcuterie, then you can do some green and red grapes.
Oh,
but this is really pretty, and you can even throw little grapes or cheeses like in the little goblets.
Oh, okay.
But
and let me set out. I actually have a whole little set of ingredients here for you to play with.
Yeah, if we have everything
show
in view.
So I have a little variety here. I have actually a ready-made cheese spread that I also got at Costco. I have some dried fruit. I have some olives. I have some, this is just basic pecans. So I'll set these here and you can kind of
we're gonna just
have your free reign.
Just play a little bit here.
And I thought if you want, we could put this in one of the wells. So the
wells,
wells.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, I can work on that if you want to work
if you would do that. And then I think the other thing is, why don't we put some of the cheese in this well, and then let's do a combination of olives in this one.
I was gonna say the olives, yeah.
And then we'll just gather up some cheeses. We're not going to get fancy at all. We're just going to do...
It is fancy too.
We're not going to... Yeah, it starts to look fancy, but it's just little clusters.
You just mean it's not hard to
It's
do.
not hard,
It looks really
right.
fancy and like you worked really hard.
But it's something, it always makes me think of when you see something and you see abundance, like where sometimes just the way you stack it or whatever, it just makes this beautiful, abundant look of the different cheeses and colors.
And I can see that what you're doing, it literally looks like it's pouring out.
Yeah,
like
it's kind of coming
higher.
over.
It already looks
Yeah.
really appetizing. Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, so these cheeses, this one is a Merlot cheese. If you're at Costco, that Merlot cheese is so good.
That is always one of
And
my
then
favorites.
This one is a cheddar blend with peppercorns in it.
Okay.
So they really give you a lot of different, just little flavor sensations there.
And then we're gonna do that beautiful brie, and
And here is a knife if you need it.
I don't
or
think I need a knife.
Here's
but-
your brie.
Okay, let's do that. And you know, something else that I like to do, and it's always fun, like if you collect, it seems like everybody's had a special grandma that they maybe collected something from their kitchen, and it might be a little salt well, it might be a special fork or tongs or something, or maybe a jam knife or a special little spread knife. If you have a pretty antique piece like that, pull out little goblets where you have one or two and use those to incorporate. And it just elevates the whole look of things.
So it's the perfect time to use all your special little sentimental pieces.
Yeah. Or like if you have tiny, like if you have a little bowl of some sort, sometimes they're hand painted or they're the Clarkson baked enamel with gold trim or something.
So it's
You
the
can-
time to pull them out.
Pull it out and put some olives in it, or put some nuts or dried cherries or something.
And
in
I
it.
always say, don't wait till a special occasion. Do
No.
it by yourself on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Make yourself feel special.
Or if you're just doing dinner for your family, to me, there's nobody more special than my family.
And kind of talking about quantity and how many you're feeding. So I've found kind of rules of thumb. So if you're just feeding like maybe one or two people, you could do like your salad plate where it's like 6 or 8 inches for like 1 or 2 people. And then if you can kind of picture a regular sized dinner plate, that would be good for about 6 people, 6 or 8 people. And then if you have more of a crowd, like Mary, if you just have your immediate family, you would have how many? 25.
Well, Zoanne, you too, if you have your family together, it's a reunion. Yeah.
So what we're doing here right now, this would be good for over 10 people. This would be good
Yeah.
like 10 to 15. I'm thinking like 12 to 15 people. Because all people are doing is taking little bits. So this would actually feed a really big crowd. You guys want to come over tonight?
If I was closer, I would.
And there lies the beauty of helping. So I just find little nooks and crannies, like in these little goblets, I'm throwing some of the nuts in there. If you had little raspberries or blueberries, you can throw those in.
So are you feeling like you do your biggest chunks of cheese first and then fill in with your smallest?
Yeah, like the tinier things, then fill in. And then, see, like right here, we got these beautiful colors, we got the pretty textures, and then we can even fill in different areas with some of these too.
So these are just I got some dried fruit, which is kind of great to have on hand because you don't have to worry about it going bad. So these are just from Walmart, 2 little dried cherries. And then these are, I think, from actually Costco. They're the really good dried figs. Or not figs, dates. Yeah. And you know what else I was thinking? If you really want to get fancy and impressive, you don't have to do this if you're in a hurry. But you can open these up and put a little slice of brie in them. And they're
A
so
goat
good.
cheese.
Brie or goat cheese inside of the
Yeah.
dates.
I was recently in Mexico, and one of the little hors d'oeuvres that they had was a baby fig, and it was whipped blue cheese stuffed in it. And then it was a little herb leaf on it. They were so elegant and so simple.
And that's not hard to do
no,
either.
it isn't.
So you
So
can,
we'll do olives here,
okay,
and then where are our crostinis?
they're right here.
Okay, I'll take a few of those.
So we're just calling them crostinis because they're the bread that was sliced and then we drizzled olive oil on top and did some seasoning and then broiled them. So they're just a little bit toasty brown on top. We're gonna have to come up with a party to take this to.
We are.
And olives, I love these jumbo ones that are stuffed with different things. If you like spicy, you can get jalapeno, and I like the garlic jalapeno ones. So we'll do some of those. And then that's why the well is good, because they are a little wet, so that well keeps it.
And then the olives give you, when you have things like the grapes and the dates, then something that briny flavor,
The
that
salty versus sweet, yeah, that craveable.
Yeah.
And then also, you know what I'm thinking? We have the bread, but I also have different crackers too. if you
Yeah, we
wanna-
could put a couple, here, let's set
Just a
that
couple.
aside.
So I
And-
have, are any of you guys gluten free? Because there's some options for that too. So there is, no, okay. There is, oh, I'm sorry?
No gluten-free.
Nope.
Okay.
And that's always an option to
But
incorporate.
even whether you are or aren't, there's these really great crackers I found. They're the multi-grain, like 6-seed crackers, and they almost taste like popcorn. I love these.
Here we
So-
go, let's do this. Let's
feel
put
like-
this up here, and then let's incorporate some of those right in there. And you can change things on the fly here too.
And then you can keep going with as many
Yeah.
different types of crackers as you want. I like the little pita crackers too. Starting to get full. Are we
It
gonna?
is. And let's incorporate another version of olives.
Okay, so I do green and black. These are the Kalamata olives. I just got these at Walmart too.
And then these are some dried cherries. And I'm just gonna pop those around in a couple places, just to incorporate some color and some more texture.
My goodness, this is so pretty already.
It is.
I'm glad I brought you along. I mean, I can
It's
do
like,
it.
just cut me loose.
I can do it pretty well, but like you're actually artistic. Like,
And then,
oh, she's gonna go even further.
and then
with
and these are things, I was telling Eric, I kind of brought some of my little props, but a couple of the things, especially if I do these in the summertime, I'll go out to my garden and I'll just grab some sprigs of rosemary and thyme, but I'm always blown away, if you just like watch this, how much this just
Adds.
it just adds.
It really does too.
It's so funny. You can just
That makes it look like a professional caterer did.
yeah. It's just
So that was all you did was grab the
Yeah.
sprig of fresh herb from your
yeah.
garden.
And then the other thing that we didn't incorporate it tonight, or well, we didn't put it on here yet. But the other thing that we can do is we can incorporate some cured meats.
I think we should tuck a few in there.
Yeah, I think
Do you
what we'll-
want to? Do you want me to like
Move,
these
yeah,
a little
move
bit
those. And here, the other thing I'll do is tuck them under these. So I'll tuck them under here. So we've got some over here. And then we can also tuck a little row of them up here.
And these are different types of salami, right? Did you get those from Costco too?
That is another Costco.
I was actually hoping that, so our family does a really, really good summer sausage. My stepdad has the recipe dialed in. I was hoping you would have that ready.
I wish I would have thought about that. It is actually ready.
But anyway, just the cured meats, so the savory, like salami, there's different ones.
Mm-hmm.
But you can usually get them ready-made at the deli. So none
And
of,
Zoanne is familiar too, like the fresh summer sausage that they make in this community. But
Delicious.
yeah, but that a lot of times I do that. Like I do a version that's my specialty with jalapeno.
of the sausage. Oh, that would be good, jalapeno
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sausage.
and it's got. But this is
Wow.
like looking.
That's even more impressive than I thought it would be. I'm
Yeah.
gonna see if I can hold it up here
Tip it.
too. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I want to give you guys a good
And
idea
kind
of
of
this.
turn it. We
Now
can
this is
see.
outright cruel. Like they need to be able to try this, but we're going to, I'm going to pick your brain and we'll make like a little checklist of
Okay.
little ingredients so you can totally
Yeah.
easily recreate this at
Yeah.
home. But yeah, so can you guys think of occasions that you would like to take this to and make you look really good when you walk in with it?
And that,
Erica, can you put saran wrap on that and I'll come get it?
yeah, there you go. And actually, Lindsay, that's what I do. I build it and then I do saran wrap, and I always start on the bottom and bring it up and around. And then bring it
Oh.
up. Don't do it over the top.
Oh,
Because if you set the board on the saran wrap and bring it up, it supports it all.
oh, so
And
then,
so you just
okay.
bring it up, like stretch
So
it
you,
against
so
the
you take out
sides.
some saran wrap on your table, lay the board on
Uh-huh.
top, and then lift it up and over?
Yeah,
So
just-
you've done this before, it sounds
I have, yeah, yeah.
So actually, Lindsay, that's not a bad idea. The only thing I would do is I would take out the bread so they don't get stale in there and then add that separate.
Yeah, and like
Oh,
that's
yeah,
exactly right. You can add a couple things like that at the end, and then just real quick too, a couple of the other things that I do, like you can do, like I like to do themes with these. It depends if you're having Italian or if you're having seafood, but a lot of times I like to use my little separated dishes. And I like to use the main protein as smoked salmon.
Oh.
So, and when I do that, you always want to be food safe. So this is actually a Himalayan salt block. And you can get them in different sizes. And what I do the night before, I'll put this in the freezer and then put this down the middle. And then I lay the smoked salmon across that. So you have the salty, briny juices that you get complements the salmon. And then you can do like little cucumbers and dill and capers. And so you can do a whole different theme.
We'll have to do
Yeah.
that, you know what, for New Year's Eve.
Oh, that would
be
be
a
fun.
really good one where you're really going over the
Yeah.
top. So
But
where would you even get something
You
like
can get
that?
it on Amazon.
Oh, really?
Or
I wouldn't have
the
thought that.
cooking, you can go to Williams Sonoma,
Oh.
but you're going to get a better price. The only thing you have to watch when you use these is when you buy them, either use them for cold application. People use them to cook on the grill, but then they get dark. Like this is really pretty. This almost looks like marble. And then when you're done, all you do is rinse it. And it's antimicrobial, so it's like it helps to keep from it any bacteria
with
growing.
that fresh salmon, you'd really have to be careful, like
Yeah.
if it's out for a few hours.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think we have take 2 of
Take
Charcuterie
2.
Boards due
Yeah.
in for New Year's. But wow, thank you.